Sydney dispatched at Vector. The NSEC seen for this one. Cedric Jackson gets the ball right in back court. Perth hang off somewhat. Looking to throw out maybe perhaps a little bit of zone. They've watched the tape on the breakers. They see the breakers struggle a little bit in zone. So throwing something different at them, and Vicona in the key gets Neville up in the air. Almost has it stripped. He's been in there a while. Gets it over Neville. 2 points for Mika Vicona.
But that is the key to defeating the zone. Be aggressive. Do not look passive on the perimeter. Attack the basket with the pass and the dribble, and Mika Vicona did just that on the first play.
How much zone will Perth Wildcats play tonight, and how much full court pressure will they exert on the breakers as Lish turn the corner, and Tom Abercrombie will pick up his first personal foul. Kevin Lish drives hard, shoots sweetly. Here's a tough mark.
Well, I think he's always starving when he comes to play the breakers, because he always seems to feast on them. He loves playing against his team. He always gets his shot off, and he is Mr. Consistency, scoring over 14 in 16 of his 19 games this season.
There's a good matchup. Vicona on Redditch strips it. Neville finds Martin, who's leaked underneath. 2 points for Damien Martin.
Just found a weak spot in the defense there. Cedric Jackson tried to get the loose ball, couldn't get it. 2 points for Martin.
Jackson's handle is sweet, gives it to Wilkinson, and can't control it, and guess who comes up with it? Damien Martin gets it back from Redditch. Puts it over to Lish in the corner, all the time in the world. Swish from Kevin Lish.
Oh, I like it, but the breakers, slow in transition defense there. They have to hustle 100% every possession against this team today. Otherwise, they will not get it done.
Wilkinson gives it to a cutting Jackson. Beautiful pass. Nice cut. 2 points, the breakers.
Great look by Gary Wilkinson and Cedric Jackson. The right cut at the right time.
Luke Neville with a deep two. Glances the front of the rim. Who did it come off? Came off Sean Redditch. The breakers will have the ball. And the Perth Wildcats with that early lead, 5-4. Less than 2 gone in the first quarter. Mika Vicona straight into the key. Abercrombie bobbled it. Shut off on the baseline by Martin.
Got a kick ball there. Looks like a reset of the shot clock back to 14 seconds. But the breakers, when they get past that initial defense in the press, they have to be aggressive. They have to get shots. They have to punish that press defense to be successful.
Wilkinson with the fall away. Nothing but the bottom of the net for Gary Wilkinson.
And if Gary Wilkinson continues to go off early, I can see Luke Neville heading to the bench quick.
Luke Neville on the baseline, sweet up and under move. Missed it, gets it back, missed it again. Just packing his stats. Gets a 3-point opportunity.
Well, that's the problem with Gary Wilkinson playing the 5.
Oh, no.
7'2", maybe 7'3", and look at that length. He's just reaching up above everybody. So tall he could basically grab the net while he's standing on the ground. Finishes with ease the 3rd time around.
Makes the free throw. The Perth Wildcats lead by 2, 8-6. Jackson gets into the key easily. Misses the shot off the glass. Martin pushing it up to Lish. Crossover on Abercrombie. Tough left-handed back shot.
Very impressed with the Perth Wildcats offensive transition right now. They're putting a lot of pressure on the breakers defense.
Martin goes straight into the corporates. Everybody lost their beer. You pay the price if you want to sit baseline with the Perth Wildcats in town. Neville, aggressive early. Wild shot. Corletto has it. Vicona gives it up eventually to Wilkinson. 12 to shoot. Abercrombie guarded by Redditch. Shoots it over Redditch. What a streak. Sweet stroke from Tom Abercrombie.
Well, broken offense doesn't look better than that. Nobody's open, just shoot it.
Speaking of which, Lish shot it. Foul underneath. And Gary Wilkinson will pick up a personal foul. That'll be Gary Wilkinson's second, I believe. No, just his first. He didn't foul Martin, Luke Neville, I should say, earlier. But just on the box out underneath the hoop.
but that's still going to earn him a trip to the bench. I think Andre Lamanis has seen enough of the offensive rebounding prowess of the Wildcats right now. Getting in big Alex Pledger to combat the height of Neville. Two 7-footers going at it.
Floater from Martin, a little strong. Makona's on the floor. We have an offensive foul.
That one's Damian Martin coming in, flying off that floater. Mika Vakona, smart play, taking the charge, holding his ground, getting a cheap foul on Martin, which could come in handy later in the game.
Breakers were cleaned up on the glass in Perth in round 12 in that big loss. Lost by 24, had a season low of 30 rebounds in the game. Perth, tough place to play. The best of times, according to former players and current players, is Abercrombie up fake, throws it out, and that'll be a back over.
Not a lot of fluidity in the breaker offense right now. The Perth defense certainly playing a role in that. Stretching out the breaker offense, getting them out of their positions, getting these guys catches for the breakers in difficult spots.
There's just no luxury against the Perth Wildcats. You start slow, and they will play one speed, and that is overdrive for the whole game. We've got great players coming off the bench, Matty Knight and Jesse Wagstaff. Tough guards like Brad Robbins and Williamson as Cedric Jackson gets the clean pick. Abercrombie all by himself, two-handed flush.
Look at that, catch and stride from the three-point line, 2 steps, dunk.
Big step is Lish, left-handed again. Tovey got the board. Redditch, wide open. In and out, and that came off Damian Martin. Someone has to box out Damian Martin. He is crashing the glass.
Yeah, the Breakers defense still likes to do a lot of those switches. Cedric Jackson getting mixed up on other guys. But whoever's got Damian Martin has to know he is as good a rebounding guard as there is. And here we see Cedric Jackson with that perfect touch pass over the top. Thomas Abercrombie in stride with ease. The two-handed little soft dunk.
League's leading thief at 2.5 a game. Average as Bruton is in the game. He goes down, gets a foul called.
So clever, CJ
Ken
Bruton.
Tovey.
He always knows how to get that call. You know, just saw the contact coming. Once he feels it, went straight to the ground. I'm guessing he could have stayed up had he wanted to, but much better to get that foul call. Get closer and closer to that bonus.
Sean Redditch's protege is Jesse Wagstaff. He's on the court at number 24 for the Perth Wildcats. And their 6th straight win streak, I should say, is he's averaging 17.3 points a game.
Yeah, he really is an emerging star. I think it's the hand. Look at Cedric Jackson with a 3-point shot.
We haven't seen many jump shots of late from Cedric Jackson, and that rattled in. You got to respect that. If that's got to start to drop, he'd be a really dangerous player. If he got a consistent jumper. Pledger had Lish go by him, and Martin from the top of the key from deep. Abercrombie gives it up to Jackson.
Good physical box out by the Breakers, starting this offensive possession.
It hasn't been easy on the offensive end for the Breakers, as Wagstaff is called for the blocking foul, but they do lead by 4. That is good news if you're a Breakers fan.
Yeah, this game being played at a very high level. Both teams executing pretty well and taking decent care of the basketball. We see Wagstaff tried to get the little cheap call on Mika Vakona. No, he's prone to fouls, but Wagstaff took a shot at it. Not going to work there. Foul on him instead of Mika Vakona.
Tovey taking it out, so Bouch is there, he doesn't know, so it's that other guard. That's when you're in the game, like you got to sprint back to here and basically zone up the middle and find out if that's Redditch or who the other, you know, that's Wagstaff, and keep people in front of you here, so even if it comes out, we got something right now, because we're getting lost, it's coming out, and those guys are busting it, and it's putting us on our back foot, because the outlet's coming too deep. Sprint back and get people in front of you, and then we can work from there. Keep getting it out.
If you have a look at that, if it's not there, just move the ball around, penetrate the receivers. Hey, we got to execute our stuff and don't go away from it. Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Well, execution is the name of the game for both teams right now. Everybody's doing a pretty good job taking care of the basketball. Only 3 turnovers total in the game, and this is the type of game you expect from the 2 leaders of the table. Played at a high intensity with good execution, Both teams really going at each other.
The Breakers are 6 of 8 from the floor for 75%. The Perth Wildcats getting shots up quickly early in the shot clock, but they're 4 of 13 for 31%. Breakers with this 4-point lead early. CJ Bruton will inbound the ball on the baseline. Brad Robbins in the game. Zone again from the Wildcats. Jackson finds Abercrombie over the top of Lish. My goodness. You could put a brick wall in front of him and he'd still shoot over it.
Well, it looks like this guy came to play today as Dylan Boucher gets the foul underneath the basket, but Thomas Abercrombie, 2 threes, 2 shots, got the dunk to go along with it. He has brought his offensive repertoire tonight.
8 points for Abercrombie, 3 assists for Cedric Jackson. He is stroking it this season, Casey. Anything in particular that you see? He was hitting it when he was open, and now he's just hitting it whenever he's open and whenever he's guarded.
Well, he's doing a better job of squaring his shoulders and shooting in rhythm, and that makes all the difference for him.
Matty Knight was hit by Pledger. Matty Knight will go to the line.
Don't know exactly what else Alex Pledger's supposed to do there defensively. Looked like he was standing in front of Matty Knight in between him and the basket. And you see there, that's what the foul starts. Instead of going straight up and down with his arms, he's got him over at an angle. He finished with him high, started at the angle. That's where Knight got the contact and earned his strip to the line.
Here is the beauty of having Cedric Jackson in this Breakers team. There's Matty Knight. Shoots his second. Damian Martin's on the bench, and Cedric Jackson's still out there. He's a fit, lean machine, Cedric Jackson. He's got great hops, great speed. Probably the quickest guard in the league, along with Damian Martin as well.
And right now, he's the guard with the best vision. He is finding his teammates all over the place. That's assist number 4 on the night.
His passes are pinpoint this season. A real highlight has been the lobs to Pledger and to Abercrombie. Wagstaff had his arm hit, no call. And the Breakers get the possession, and Matty Knight was out of bounds. Breakers early, 7-point lead over the Perth Wildcats, still smarting from that December 23 loss, you think?
Well, certainly that it would have been in the back of their minds as they practiced for this week, but while this isn't like every other game, they would have left that game behind them, knowing that they're improving as a team since that point.
Abercrombie finds Pledger, throws it down on Jesse Wagstaff's head.
Oh, and that is a facial all over you, Jesse Wagstaff. Great dunk by Alex Pledger to finish strong under the basket.
He put some conditioner on that mop of hair to Pledger. Robbins finds Lish. Dylan Boucher. CJ Bruton, I should say, is called for that foul.
And he does not like it.
He was trying to guard Matty Knight in the post.
Yeah, there we see the great pass from Thomas Abercrombie, and Alex Pledger doing a great job of finishing quick. Normally it takes a while to get set, but here you see he just explodes straight to the rim. Too late, Mr. Wagstaff. That could be toasterized.
So Matty Knight back at the line. They're 2 of 2 on his first trip. Frank wins the first shot of his second trip.
Well, we talk about the Breakers' depth all the time, but talk about thinking a guy like Matty Knight, who's been to a few Broomer camps, coming off the bench for Perth. That is a luxury in itself. He's a inside-outside scorer. He sits about 6'10". Really good rebounder as well.
He's been injured for parts of the season. 12 points and 6 boards. Stutter step from Bruton. Right-hand layup.
Great timing. Knows exactly what to do on the court. Just really clever move there, using his back and forth hesitation dribble.
Back to a double-digit lead for the Breakers, 23-13. Kevin Lish had it stripped. Pledger came up with it. A cheeky Breakers hand in there, knocked it free. And Jackson on the bench, and Bruton again with another swifty move. Our offensive foul. And the Breakers, Bruton and Boucher in particular, pleading their case. That he was in the defensive charge circle.
That's what it looked like to me. I can't see how he would not have been inside the charge line there. It looked from up here like he was under the basket. That's exactly what CJ Bruton's saying. And he's got to be careful now because he's on his way to a technical foul. But here we see the replay. See if we can't see the feet where they're at. And they are way inside that charge line right there. That is a poor call there. They did not get the benefit of the doubt for the home team, and the Breakers coaching staff and players are livid with just cause.
Well, right now, the Breakers fans, they would boot a truckload of Girl Guides selling cookies door to door. They are angry. We had the luxury of the Victor Arena having a screen last week to see the replays and the game. But right now, Lemanos with a timeout, trying to keep cool heads on his bench.
Exactly. We've been great against press break. You've been good down the back of that thing. You guys have been active in the middle. Next time it's a zone, all right, they'll probably get out of it right now. But that four-man's going to come in circles so that you can go, and then you can, so he's going to come and set a screen so you don't get trapped here, and then you can go and attack from there. All right, we've been good ones with us. They play so high, all right, that is right open right there. So even from here, have a look. Sometimes you can go to that guy right on the rim. Hey, be smart here, keep him off the foul. I like the aggression, keep showing your hands. This one here, we're going to go green 32. All right, green 32 right here. Here we go, keep talking. 1, 2, 3.
Well, that foul really affects the Breakers. CJ Pruden was playing great coming off the bench so far. Would have been his second bucket. Instead, that sends him to the bench with the second foul. Now the Breakers have to go back to their starters, really change the way their lineup's working tonight, change the substitution patterns.
We saw another one probably on the same exact part of the court a few rounds ago before New Year's Eve. You think you're going to have a defensive charge circle. The referee's going to have a hard time trying to decide where to feed up. Where's the contact coming? Who initiated it? But that one was right in front of the baseline ref. Lish up fake on Pledger, sold it. Pledger bought it, and he picks up a personal foul.
Oh, and he gets shots on that one. That's surprising as well. Looks like the officiating crew, 2 Australians this week for this big game. And right now, Kevin Lish looked like a bit of travel before he got that shot up. Split the legs, but right now, the referee's giving the Perth Wildcats the benefit of the doubt.
Kevin Lish, left-handed. Difficult to guard. So quick, so strong. They've got a 3-guard rotation right now with Martin, Robbins, and Kevin Lish. Matty Knight and Jesse Wagstaff. Wildcats play man as Jackson gets into the lane, goes with the left hand himself and finishes, and he'll go to the line.
Man, he is making all the right decisions tonight. Brad Robbins, one of the strongest guards in the league. Well, Cedric Jackson said, well, you're not as quick as me. I'm just going to turn on the jets, blow right by you, and finishes with the left hand. Great finish, under pressure, and always acrobatic after he finishes those plays. For some reason, he always ends up in the corporates.
It's a good place to be. Corporate hospitality is excellent at the North Shore Event Centre. Jackson makes the free throw. Boucher in the game for the Breakers picks up. Brad Robbins, Corletto also in. Wilkinson is back, so is Vicona.
Breakers showing a bit of a 1-2-2 zone now as well.
Wagstaff and Vicona battling as Robbins has Wilkinson on him. Goes up with a shot, nice layup from Brad Robbins.
Well, good recognition. He had Gary Wilkinson out front, just took it straight to the bucket.
Wilkinson has it blocked by Damian Martin. Excellent help defense from Martin. One-handed pass to Kevin Lish. It's good.
Transition offense. That transition, the quickness from defense to offense right now by the Perch is impressive. Brad Robbins does not like that call. We are getting testy here in the North Shore Event Center.
Kevin Lish has 10 points, and you cannot give him this much room on the outside.
Well, how about Damian Martin? First with the block, then with a great one-handed pass to find him in the corner. Just fantastic job to find his teammates. And Kevin Lish, Mr. Consistency, always ready to shoot and score.
So both teams in the bonus with 1:39 to go in this first quarter. And Cedric Jackson has the opportunity to hit double figures. He has 8 so far. Perth down 6.
And a big foul there on Brad Robbins, his second of the game. Going to have to take off the defensive intensity just a little bit. Looks like he's going to stay in to finish the quarter. And it would be a bad news for the Wildcats if he was to pick up his 3rd foul. Cedric Jackson steps over the line too quickly, gets the violation, has to wait till that ball hits the rim to cross the free throw line.
So the Breakers with a 7-point lead. Let's see what they fall back into. Will they stay in that man zone?
It's kind of a mismatch man end zone at the same time.
Martin, ball on the floor, bounce pass, Robbins, baseline. It's good. Nothing but net for Brad Robbins.
Brad Robbins is a guy who used to be able to have that jump shot as much as he wanted, but all the work in the weight room is not the only place he's working. Also has that jump shot going well as well.
Oh, they left him alone. Cedric Jackson, he finds Corletto for three. Martin over the back of Boucher, cleans it up, and Neville gives the outlet pass to Lish. He looks around, wants Damien Martin. Has Neville on that side of the court. Robbins. Jackson's given him that shot. Redditch, strong move, up and in by Sean Redditch.
Well, the Wildcats are taking advantage of the on-ball screen defense. Whenever Gary Wilkinson comes out to show, they're just attacking him right away, going straight to the basket and to fruition, and getting it done right now.
Up just three now, the Breakers. Boucher, step through, gives it to Wilkinson, goes strong. And who's that foul on? And I believe it is on
Big fella Luke
Neville. I think Breakers fans are hoping that after the 5 by the referee, they're going to hold up a 3, but it wasn't. It was just a fist. So Luke Neville picks up the personal foul. The big man, the big 7-footer, that's just his first. Nice pickup by the Perth Wildcats as Wilkinson makes the first.
It really gives them the ability to go with a smaller, quicker lineup of bigs with the Matty Knight and the Sean Redditch or the Jesse Wagstaff, but bringing in the 7-footer really changes the complexion of your team and the ability to rebound.
The top 3 teams all have 7-footers in the league. Pledger for the Breakers, Neville for the Wildcats, and Schencher for the Townsville Crocs, who got handed a big beating on the weekend by the Perth Wildcats in Perth. Abercrombie with the steal, the spin in the backcourt, surrounded by Wildcats, and gives it up to Corletto. 10 seconds to go in this quarter. Jackson will hold it for the final shot. One-on-one, him and Lish, crossover. Floater gives it up to Vakonen. Cleaned up by Gary Wilkinson. It wasn't quite what they had in mind, but it still came out in the positive for the Breakers. And they lead the Perth Wildcats 31-24.
Well, it is always better to be lucky than good. Cedric Jackson there had the shot, gave it up late. Mika Vakonen was not looking, but it rolled right off his shoulder to Gary Wilkinson. Unbelievably quick crossover there. Late look, can't handle it, but Gary Wilkinson again, just enough to get it in the bucket.
A big quarter at the North Shore Event Centre for the New Zealand Breakers. 31 points on the best defensive team around. 12 of 16 from the floor. 7 of those assisted as well. So Rob Beveridge in a bit of a hole at the moment.
Contain the penetration. Heads, get back to your man. Don't overhelp. Get a hand on the ball. Right now, we can't pick up and down with emotions. We just got to flat out concentrate here, guys. Okay? Now, get some ball movement. Chase the corner.
Get away. When we're in the green, again, good early calls. If we're still in green and there's a on-ball on the side, we should be bluing it. All right, we're bluing that. If you've already gone the hustle, fair enough. Just sit down.
And here we see Cedric Jackson getting off to the great start early with a look from Gary Wilkinson. That wasn't enough. The quick hands that he's known for, looking for his teammates, plenty of assists, but he also showed the 3-point range. If you're going to lay off me, I have the ability to shoot the ball, and he's always had this ability, the driving, the kicking. He is doing it all right now for the Breakers.
Casey, you're a student, so you watch a lot of NBA. How far or how close is Cedric Jackson away from getting back in the association?
Well, he has the quickness and the driving ability to play at the NBA level. Defensively, I think he's right there. As far as those guys, you know, he's probably the same talent level as a lot of guys who are already in the NBA and just has to be at the right place at the right time.
Again, Mix, as it comes in, have a look to red 20. If it's your got Toby there, just have a look to red 20. If there's no opportunity, then we're in our pack. Okay? Good job. Keep boxing out. 1, 2, 3.
Just about to get that second quarter underway. Interesting stat, the New Zealand Breakers have just 3 rebounds in the game at the moment. Perth Wildcats only 2 better at 5. But the Breakers shooting at a great clip, 12 of 16. And the Perth Wildcats have missed 10 shots.
Yeah, very aggressive. I don't know if they've been able to tell exactly who the rebounds have gone to. But these two teams really going at it. And the Breakers making a lot of shots. That ends up with less rebounds.
Back underway. Kona on Redditch. Quick move by Redditch. Tough layup, I should say, by Sean Redditch. That was a quick first step for a guy who had a massive hip injury, fell awkwardly in a game last season, came down, dislocated it fully, and he was out for a long time, supposedly, but came back.
The spiral fracture he had to come back from.
9 to shoot. Wilkinson spins on Neville, lays it up and in. Nice move from Gary Wilkinson.
Always very tough in the post when he's aggressive and going to the basket like that one play right there.
High screen by Redditch, gets it back from Martin off the glass. Bread and butter play by the Perth Wildcats.
And he's so tough because he gets his shot off so quickly. You see, it wasn't even in his hand for a half a second before he got it up with a high arc off the glass.
Breakers lead is 5. Corletto with the ball carrying duties at the moment. Wilkinson, no one's on him, drives hard on Redditch, or into Redditch, I should say, who grabs the rebound. Luke Neville, the biggest point guard in the game right now, smartly gives it up to Damian Martin.
He wanted a dribble, but he thought better of it.
Pick and pop this time. Cleaned up by Abercrombie, and Jackson has it. Wilkinson and Redditch battling down low. The Kona spin move, had it poked away by Redditch. Martin and him. Damian Martin so strong on the ground. Williamson. Neville's there. Luke Neville just cleaned up on the trailer with the rebound.
Transition offense, normally the Breakers' specialty. The Perth Wildcats have brought that speciality to the game tonight. Really take advantage of the breaks.
On a mini 6-2 run as Abercrombie had it partially blocked. Corletto gets it. Just not falling for Daryl Corletto still. Carrying over from a quiet night against Sydney is Redditch. Straight down the middle of the lane. Neville gets it. Neville puts it in off the glass. And Andre Lemanos has called the timeout. That lead that they had, 7-point lead at the start of the quarter, has evaporated almost. And they only lead by 1 now.
Well, for the first time this season, I see Breakers playing a team that looks to be in better shape than they are. The Breakers look tired out on the court right now, could not get back. The pressure that the Perth Wildcats are putting on offensively is really getting to the Breakers right now.
Get down, let's rethink our rules. They're coming down this way, we're going to read it, you guys got to look to rotate. If it's coming middle, we're in a yellow. Okay, so right now we've got to concentrate.
That's my bad, I'll force him to, I can't just open up like that.
Now, offensively, let's run circle again, but look to curl. If you curl it, you've got to screen, mate. You've got to screen. Okay? Then you can pop out, we can play out of that. Okay, this guy might have to come around. But keep moving the ball there. Okay? So defensively, we're in 1. Red the side, yellow the middle. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Great intensity, fellas. Yeah, absolutely. Set up screen.
Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Press break here.
The Breakers, normally the aggressors in terms of putting on the pressure with a full court game, right now are getting a little taste of their own medicine with the Wildcats really upping the tempo, and it's affecting the Breakers right now. They've weathered that first offensive storm the Breakers had, and since that early 12 for 16 shooting early, now the Breakers only made 1 of their last 14.
Well, CJ Bruton is back in the game, and that's a startling stat. Bruton was looking so good in the first quarter. Bobbles it just a little, gets it back. Goes up to Abercrombie, who rises up. Built strong. Damian Martin there to clean it up again.
I don't care what these stats say. That guy has like 6 rebounds already.
He has 5 assists. As Williamson gets his own rebound. Williamson, he'll shoot it. Boucher gets the board. And we have a foul on Drew Williamson, who tried to slow down CJ Bruton. Gavin Few, the referee, is just having a bit of a word to CJ Bruton, who I'm sure had some words for him.
I think there's warnings all around. A lot of talk going back to the officials. If it keeps up with this intensity, I can see a technical coming somewhere for somebody soon. CJ Bruton still having words with the officials, and he got the call.
He's still joined. Still not happy with that charge call he picked up in the first quarter. It's Breakers' ball. A slender 1-point lead, 33-32. 3 minutes gone in the second quarter. It is as advertised so far. Jackson flips it up between 3 Wildcats. No call. Lish has it. Jackson still trailing. Bobble by Abercrombie. Quick hands, but just couldn't quite control it. Perth will get it back with 16 on the shot clock, Casey.
He was everywhere on that defensive possession. Tipped it away right away, made it tough for him to touch, then came around and almost stole it on the other side. Great defensive effort.
Cam Tovey checks back in. Small forward, and Williamson takes a seat. Neville on Pledger. Little jump hook in the lane. Nice move by Luke Neville.
Yeah, great job fighting through the double team with Thomas Abercrombie to still finish. Look at that.
Wow. Oh my goodness. CJ Bruton bangs it in. A big 3 off a great pass and play by Cedric Jackson.
Cedric Jackson with a Globetrotter-esque through the legs before he started that little offensive section.
He is a highlight machine as Action Jackson. CJ Bruton got those legs back, hasn't he? Luke Neville in his 9 points, gives it off to Lish. A beautiful pass by the big man and a great cut by Kevin Lish, the American.
Well, the offensive cuts of the Wildcats right now just slightly quicker than the defensive rotations of the Breakers. They just seem to be a half step late on all this help, which is allowing for the easy layups. But
that Lish layup does tie it up. 36 all.
36 all, they should be playing the 36ers. Zing.
Casey Frank in commentary. Bruton, look at that. Swagger is back. CJ Bruton. Classic. Vintage Bruton.
He is feeling it. He is fired up, and you can tell. I think the breaks gave him a little bit of a break there. His foot might have been on the line, but he gets 3 anyway.
8 points, 3 of 3 for CJ Bruton. Matty Knight. Left-handed hook. Couldn't bank it in. Boucher. A former Wildcat himself. Gives it to Jackson. What's he going to do now? Left-handed drive. Little strong. Pledger's there, though. Couldn't control it. Lish. He does such a good job of when he is in the backcourt with the ball, going around an opposition player and selling that foul.
Well, I think that was a purposeful foul there by Dylan Boucher. They would have had a tough job to get back on transition defense. And with all the trouble they've had with the transition offense of the Wildcats, one way to do that is to get the foul. So we see that excellent passing or before by the Breakers, passing it around the horn. CJ Bruton lets the crowd know he's scored through.
Corlelo's back in the game as Martin gives up to Matty Knight. They went to double Martin and he slipped through into the key. Did Knight and picks up another bucket. Matty Knight has 5. Bruton high off the glass. Pledger, another offensive board. Abercrombie went over the back of Wagstaff, but he couldn't get it. Martin has it. Slips. It's been humid in Auckland. And Damien Martin thought he might have been fouled there. No matter, though. Bruton. And that's another offensive foul on CJ Bruton. And CJ Bruton isn't arguing this one. He has walked. While he was walking towards the Breakers bench, he's just going to have a quiet word now to the ref.
Well, that time there, I think CJ Bruton dipped his shoulder, and Damien Martin, as we said before the game, pretty much known as the best player defensively, especially at the guard position, and so quick, just got his body right in front of CJ Bruton, took it, the charge, sold the call to the ref, and it's an offensive foul.
Bruton's 3rd foul. This is an interesting look by Andre Lamanis. BJ Anthony in the game. Pledger and Boucher on the back line as Kevin Lish hits the deep 2.
Just quick release, Dylan Boucher trying to chase around the screen just a little bit late.
If there is just an ever so slight weak spot with the Breakers, it's a lack of backcourt cover. Which if Bruton, oh my goodness, Alex Pledger, he could probably play the point right now. That was a huge dunk.
Well, I think that was a scattering point dunk. Normally, Pledger always goes to the left shoulder. That time, drop step to the right shoulder, slams it home.
Crossover by Lish, high floater. Matty Knight has it. Outside to Wagstaff. Martin is wide open. Finally gets it to him. Tovey.
Fouls
Wagstaff will pick up the foul off the ball on Cedric Jackson.
Superlative effort by Jackson on that defensive play, really fighting the much taller Jesse Wagstaff. Sits about 6'8". Cedric Jackson just all fight in that possession. Would not be denied defensively. Not going to give it up, the low close position.
2 team fouls each with 3:28 left in this first half. To say the Breakers were a little bit light in the backcourt, they of course had to endure a stretch without CJ Bruton, and they did pretty well when he was out of the game. It's Jackson for 3. A little strong by Cedric Jackson. Thought he might have been CJ Bruton there for a moment. Wagstaff, ball on the floor into the key. Tough drive. Gets it back. Goes up strong. No good. BJ Anthony's in the middle. Wrap the ball up. I don't think they're going to get many things out of that clasp. Blocking foul on Cam Tovey. My goodness, it is physical in the second quarter.
These two guys have just marked lines on the ground and have lined up at each other and just throwing blows. Both teams just physically going at each other. Nobody's backing down right now. Just the clash of the Titans.
41-40. Second quarter. We have a whistle on the baseline. We're going the other way.
Oh, see that call right there. You're going to let these guys just go at each other, play after play after play. And then you see somebody flop on the ground from just a little contact 30 feet away from the ball that has no regard for the play. I really dislike that. If you're going to if you're going to officiate one way, continue to officiate that way. Otherwise, the players are they have a right to complain.
That is Dylan Boucher's 3rd foul. He joins CJ Bruton on the bench with 3 fouls. Mika Vakona and Tom Abercrombie on the court for the Breakers. BJ Anthony gave them a couple of minutes in the second quarter. 41-40 Breakers lead. Another steal by Cedric Jackson. Crossed over on Matty Knight. We got him. Cedric Jackson, he is lightning quick.
Man, when he turns on the Jets, he finds another level. Also on that play, Alex Pledger did a great job of screening the weak side by running the lane. But here you see, just turns on the Jets right here. You see Alex Pledger trying to block out the lane and right around Matty Knight, who does not have enough quickness to keep up with Cedric Jackson on the break.
Cedric Jackson out of Cleveland State. Ran with LeBron at the Cleveland Cavaliers a couple of seasons ago. I think LeBron now plays at the Miami Heat.
I heard something about that.
He's having a fantastic season himself, it has to be said. Cedric Jackson, this is the 2nd foul shot. Cam Tovey has it for the Perth Wildcats. Martin on this near side. Wagstaff. Mika Vakona just fended off Matty Knight with one arm and sucked down the rebound with the other.
And he makes that look difficult, even when it's harder than it is.
Cedric Jackson now, high screen. Didn't really need it. He's just going to work on Damian Martin and then just lost the handle.
Damian Martin just like the rope up there, kept giving ground, and then at the very last second, physically stood up to Cedric Jackson, just gave him enough of a physical jostle to make him dribble the ball out of bounds. 2
tough defenders, but for little guards, their upper body strength looks impressive.
Little guards from up here, Damian Martin's sitting about 6'3". He's not as little as you think when you look at it on TV, so he's a physically imposing guard, especially in this league. Jeremiah
Truman in the game, he gives it to Wagstaff.
Damian Martin again.
My goodness, Damian Martin's having a heck of a first half. Abercrombie pulls up, gives it to Jackson. Damian Martin has 6 assists, 3 rebounds. Jackson to Corletto, to Abercrombie, 3 on the way. And I think that's going to be called on Cam Tovey. holding Tom Abercrombie, going for the rebound.
If the Breakers look at this lineup for the Wildcats, they really see the opportunity to get on the offensive glass. The most physical player that the Wildcats have out there right now is Wagstad, and Jeremiah Truman does not have the physicality, I don't think, to stick up to Mika Vacona or Alex Pledger. So some opportunities for some easy putback buckets there. As we see now, a little bit different now with Redditch coming in. It's a more versatile big lineup.
The Breakers have cooled off a little bit in this second quarter. There's some discussion as to what actually is going to happen here. Is it going to be a foul shot?
Trying to figure out who the shooter is. Nice move by Thomas Abercrombie, trying to sneak his way on the line there. Mika Vacona, not the best free throw shooter in the league, but he's got good form, and he apparently talks to himself.
Mika Vacona, not a bad free throw shooter for a power forward, 66%. Oh, I'm so sorry, Mika.
The jinx.
I don't think there are jinxes, but I'll take that one. Not a fruitful trip to the line for Mika Vacona. 42 all. He gets the steal, though. He'll be happy with that effort after 2 misses. And the Breakers would love to get a bucket right here. Kickstart their offense. Pledger. Little jump shot from 15 out. 15 feet, that is. Damian Martin gets through. Just cleans it up again. 20 rebounds to 9. The Perth Wildcats lead that category. 8 to shoot. Truman has it. Gives it to Redditch. Sees it, there's 5 on the shot clock. Fall away hook shot. Sean Redditch, my goodness.
Just tough inside the key right now. He hasn't had it going from long range, but that 15 feet and in right now, he has his radar zeroed in.
11 seconds in the half. Jackson has it again. 5 to shoot. Abercrombie. Jab step, 3 ball. No good. And Damian Martin pulls down yet another board. And the Perth Wildcats have a 2-point lead.
Damian Martin, the story of the first half. He is everywhere for the Wildcats, playing at an MVP level. He has really impressed me with his effort levels tonight.
Stunning half from Damian Martin, just 2 points, but he's got 6 assists, 5 rebounds, 2 blocks, and 3 steals. And the Perth Wildcats lead the New Zealand Breakers by 2, 44 to 42.
New Zealand's most prestigious sport awards, a night where we honour excellence for individual and team athletic achievements. The Westpac Hellberg Awards.
It still actually makes me quite emotional.
You are getting a bit emotional.
The Westpac Hellberg Awards, live Sky Sport 2.
Race into Repco this weekend and pay no GST. That's right, it's GST free on oil, additives, tools, car care, car stereos and more. It's all GST free this Waitangi weekend. Hurry, ends Monday.
At ANZ, we're opening up our network, opening connections throughout the region, opening insights into new business, opening possibilities in emerging markets. We're openly developing support teams and local specialists in more cities than ever before. We're open in 28 countries across Asia Pacific. That's why we support the Australian Open Grand Slam of Asia Pacific.
He's committed now, this young man. He's going for his top run scorer bet. Slides in, and he's down. Place your top run scorer bet at tabsport.co.nz.
G'day, it's summer and I'm working overtime. get all round the place, because no matter where you get to this summer, there's always a risk of fire. So, if you see smoke or anything suspicious, call 111 and tell them, come on, keep it green.
We all need excuses to get outside, and why not over a long weekend? It's perfect time. You've got to get all these little jobs that have been adding up, you've got to get them done.
A Zito circular saw $64.98, Karcher water blaster $129, garden shed $193, 4-burner barbecue $4.97, camping chair $8.91. And if you happen to find a cheaper price on the same stocked item, we'll beat it by 15%.
You'll save on all your DIY projects at Bunnings.
Lowest prices are just the beginning.
New Zealand, you need a break. And with these great low fares from Jetstar, now's the perfect time to take one. Take off from Wellington to Christchurch from $59, Queenstown from $79, or fly from Auckland to Dunedin from $89, or Queenstown from just $99. Fares are one way, checked baggage not included, but may be added from just $8 more. Not available on all flights or days. Conditions apply.
To book, visit jetstar.com.
This is Bridget and Bert. They've got new smartphones. Bridget joined 2 Degrees Pay Monthly and got her smartphone free. Plus 1 gig of data every month for a year. And 100 bonus minutes every month for life. Oh, Bert isn't on 2 Degrees. Look, he's run out of minutes and internetness. How will he play Grumpy Birds now? Join the Pay Monthly $39 plan today and get an Idios X3 free. Come on, Bert. A trip to the Android market will cheer you up. I'll drive.
At the moment, it's the Perth Wildcats who are marching to the beat of their own drum, narrowly leading the Breakers by 44-42. Dennis Katsanov with Casey Frank. And Casey, we said at the very, very top of the show, there's not much separating these teams in terms of league, performance, form, you name it, and just 2 points at halftime.
And not much separating them in effort levels either. These two teams are going right at each other, physically taking each other on. It's almost like a boxing match.
I was going to say, it has the intensity of that final series, the semi-finals last year, and hopefully a preview to the final series this year.
Yeah, I think these two teams, whatever they say about this just being another game, they know what lies in this game. Not only is it a win, top of the table status, but is the mental edge over this team going into the other opponents going into the finals.
Casey, the first quarter, Breakers came out focused, came out hot. They had the upper hand, didn't they, against Perth?
Yeah, right off the bat, Kevin Lish started early. He really came out well, but the Breakers really were going well offensively in that first quarter, going 12 for 16 from the field and just sharing the ball, putting the pressure on the Wildcats and attacking that press defense.
I don't think Perth really came out ready or fired up, or it wasn't the Perth we expected to see initially.
Well, I don't think they were playing poorly. I just think the Breakers were so good offensively that they were able to stretch that lead to almost a double digits and really take the early command of the game.
You touched on Damian Martin. How outstanding is he?
Man, he is my MVP of the game. He is playing as well as I've ever seen him play. I think as well as a guard can play without really dominating offensively, he just shows how how much you can influence a game without scoring.
We talked about the boards. At the moment, it is all Perth 21-9.
Yeah, and that includes 8 offensive rebounds for the Wildcats. If they continue to rebound at that rate, it's going to be very difficult for the Breakers to stay in touch.
And it is great that the Breakers are in touch when you have a look at those stats right there. Now, speaking of Breakers that have been in touch and outstanding, Cedric Jackson did say last time over in Perth he was disappointed with his own performance, and you can tell he is putting in that extra effort tonight, isn't he?
He's fired up. He really wants the ball. He's looking for his shots offensively, but also looking for his teammates. And once again, playing the defense, got a couple of great steals using his quick hands. He's doing his best to counter Damian Martin's defense.
I was going to say, when you've got Damian Martin and then someone like Brad Robbins that tries to come in and pick your pocket and wear you down, it must frustrate you.
Well, I think it's normally the Breakers recipe. They try and wear teams down by 7 guys through, but right now I'd say that the Perth Wildcats have the edge with that depth.
And not only is Jackson supporting his teammates, also 10 points on the board for him.
Yeah, he's doing a good job of choosing his spots. He did hit the 1-3. So he's making them guard him outside the three-point line as well. But right now, when he pushes it, when he really gets his crossover going and pushes towards the basket, he's very difficult to stop.
Casey, one thing that's been consistent is the referees. They've actually had an outstanding first half.
Well, I don't know if I agree. I don't know if the referees ever have an outstanding first half. But I think for the most part, they really let the guys play. There's a couple times where they changed it around, maybe made a tough call. But, you know, they're only human, and they're going to get caught up in the physicality and the emotion of the game as well. And they, for the most part, have done a really good job.
We said again at the top of the broadcast, and I like these sort of Nostradamus moments, Kevin Lish loves playing the Breakers, and he proved it again.
He does.
Lloyd and his entourage on their feet as well. They love it as well. Cedric Jackson has the ball. Underway, second half. Breakers, Perth, to see who goes to the top of the NBL. Abercrombie, oh my goodness. That was almost a serious injury to Cam Tovey, who came flying over the top of Tom Abercrombie. And he's a little stunned, you can understand. Great pass by Vacona.
Well, Thomas Abercrombie looks like a design play coming out of the halftime. And great up fake, and Tovey goes down hard. As we see Lloyd showing the moves, getting into Michael Jackson. But the Breakers, looks like they saw something that they could take advantage of there. Came out with a design play straight off the flex cut on the baseline, finding an open Thomas Abercrombie.
Cam Tovey will take a seat on the Wildcats bench. Free throws haven't been great so far for the Breakers. 5 of 10 is make it 6 of 11.
Well, that substitution of Robbins really makes the Wildcats a better defensive team. Normally they bring him a little bit later to keep the pressure on the point guard, but now I think probably the crunch time lineup in the game right now.
Running with Abercrombie on Lish like they did in the first half. Playing great defense this season as Tom Abercrombie. Coletto will match up on Robbins. Robbins will go up, and he'll get the 2 points to drop.
Clever move there by Robbins. Just got him deep enough to take advantage of an easy floater.
Jackson gives it to Wilkinson. Beautiful play. The screen by Wilkinson, the pass by Jackson.
Pick and roll should be there all day on Luke Neville. He does not have the foot speed to keep up with Jackson or Wilkinson. Should be a lot of offensive opportunities out of that.
Nice game for Gary Wilkinson. 10 points, 4 of 6 shooting. Lish gives it to Damian Martin inside to Neville. Sean Redditch will be called for the offensive foul.
And a lot of contact away from the ball. I'm not sure exactly what it was there. I think Sean Redditch just trying to bulldoze his way in on the weak side. As we see it, Sean Redditch just smashing into Mika Vacona. Great heads-up play by Mika Vacona to take that charge and sell it to the official so he gets the foul on Sean Redditch.
Redditch, that's just his first personal. He has 8 points on 4 of 7 shooting. Coletto, hounded by Martin. Such good pressure in the backcourt by the Perth Wildcats. An example there is Brad Robbins in the front court just stripped Tom Abercrombie. Inside to Neville with great position on Coletto, double teamed. Kicks it out, Robbins back inside to Neville. Skip pass to Lish. Counted, Kevin Lish for nothing but net.
Cedric Jackson has to be aware of who it is he's closing out on. Kevin Lish had all the time in the world. Cedric Jackson has to make him put it on the floor.
Ball fake from Mika Vacona. No one picked him up. He just went around Luke Neville.
And if they continue to attack with that kind of precision, the Breakers will get the Wildcats out of that press defense and get into their half-court offense a little bit easier.
That Vacona layup cuts the lead to 2 for the Wildcats. Vacona, 4 points. It's Martin, Redditch. Too strong on Jackson. Damian Martin will pick up that personal foul and will help Cedric Jackson up. Just got a bit of his foot as Jackson's trying to walk off a bit of a mild ankle sprain again.
I think he got a little bit of a knee to the thigh there. Yeah. Damian Martin with the professional foul, just trying to stop the break. Sticks his knee right in the thigh there, cork thigh. Never easy after the game, but during the game you don't really feel it.
Vacona as Kevin Lish came over the top of Gary Wilkinson and will just advance it up the court.
Breakers need to be aware of that pressure they're putting on Cedric Jackson to keep it out of his hands. Almost a 5-second call there, and also very nearly a steal for Kevin Lish getting in there.
49-47. Just a bit of a conversation with Gavin Few and the scorer's bench.
Yeah, take your time. Nobody's watching.
So if the Wildcats win this game, they'll win the series against the Breakers. It's Martin again that strips Jackson clean.
From the floor, no less.
Wow. He has quick hands too. beautiful big man play. Neville to Redditch, but he blew the layup. Mika Vakona looks up, court as Lish keeps an eye on the ball. Down low, gets it back, does Vakona. Oh. Gary Wilkinson, the passing big man now.
He is doing a very good job of passing out of the post right now. Mika Vakona with a quick, sharp cut to finish the layup.
Seen more of that this game from the Breakers. Lish gives it up. Neville with another deep shot. Jackson flies in to pull down that board.
The Breakers really picked up the defensive intensity there as we see a whistle on the far right, far sideline. Sean Redditch and Mika Vakona got tied up. The ref couldn't get the whistle in his mouth fast enough, so it was a little delayed, but a lot of action away from the ball right now. These two teams still going at each other. No love lost.
That's Sean Redditch's second foul off the ball. And that will be his second. He'll take a seat. Jesse Wagstaff will check in. Referees all over the teams at the moment. Anything off the ball, they're quick to ping.
Doing a good job of controlling the game between two teams, or really bringing the physical game to the other. And they have to be careful not to let it boil over and keep it on that fine line.
Corletto, Abercrombie in the corner. Oh my God, Damian Martin just climbed up the back of Gary Wilkinson.
He won't get credit for that rebound, but that defensive rebound was all of him.
Should get half a rebound at least as Wagstaff into the lane, kicks it out. 10 to shoot for the Wildcats on the shot clock. Wagstaff will take a three. Mika Vakona just grabbed that rebound up. Martin, look at the defensive pressure he exerts on a player. As Jackson drives, skip pass, Corletto to Wilkinson. Three ball on the way. It's good for Gary Wilkinson.
That's why the Breakers have to attack the defensive pressure. That full court press is only good if you slow down. But once you get past that initial defense, there are opportunities. And you saw the Breakers pass the ball around the perimeter with zip for the open shot for Gary Wilkinson.
He's still getting the crowd involved. That breaks the deadlock, 52-49. That extra pass, that ball movement, crucial to breaking down the Perth Wildcats. Martin looking for options. And Mika Vakona will pick up a foul. He bumped the cutter quite hard.
He knew it. He tried to get a little shoulder in Matty Knight's chest there, and he just wore that foul, heard the whistle, knew it was coming. And now he gets a well-deserved rest.
2 fouls for Mika Vakona. He'll take a seat. The foul count on him has taken a nice dive so far as the season's worn on for Vakona. He's really developed the ability to foul less and stay on the court for longer as a result.
I think everybody else is just catching up to his physicality.
Wagstaff has Boucher on him. Strong move by Jesse Wagstaff. Too strong though on the shot. Gets his own rebound. He looks strong as well.
He's a very physical player.
Lish with the floater. Abercrombie rose up to grab it. Outlet pass to Jackson. He'll walk it up. Slight jog, really. He fouled as he tried to split the double team.
Going to be interesting to see who that calls on.
Is that on Matty Knight?
We got Damian Martin on that foul.
That is Damian Martin. Once that is foul. Number 3 on Damian Martin.
I was talking in the first half about Brad Robbins having to be careful. Now Damian Martin really has to be careful not to get that fourth. It's going to have to change the way he's playing defensively. Going to have to be much more precise when he's getting his hand in there, trying to get the steals. And just ease up a little bit on the body blocks as well. So look for Cedric Jackson to probably attack him a little bit more.
Well, the Breakers are having a horror time of it at the free throw line. 6 of 12 so far. As Jackson misses 2, but Wilkinson cleans it up and gets the 2 points.
Well, that's how you make up for misses. Get offensive rebounds and put them back in.
15 for Gary Wilkinson. 6 of 8 shooting. Robbins with a spin move. Wagstaff wanted a foul. None forthcoming. Jackson, hesitation. Bruton to Abercrombie, who drives this time. Gave up the open 3, missed it. As Matty Knight just threw the elbow into Dylan Boucher. Breakers crowd wanted that call, none coming. Robbins steps into the lane. Wagstaff, ball on the floor. There's a whistle. It is hectic.
Man, these guys are just going at it. Look at this little elbow straight to the chest. Dylan Boucher sells it a little bit. Matty Knight, lucky not to get a foul there. He's just swinging elbows. Nobody's coming at him, but I can't take the smile off my face. This game is fun to watch.
It certainly is. Fifth straight sellout for the New Zealand Breakers at the North Shore Events Centre and Vector. Let's go downstairs to Dennis Katsanos.
Thanks very much, Andrew. Yes, I'm with Lloyd. Lloyd, how are you enjoying the basketball?
Hey, I'm dedicating this visit to New Zealand's own Breakers, not my ex.
Hey, tell me,
I'm a big CJ fan. Shout out CJ.
It's your first time in New Zealand. You got a gig tomorrow. Are you looking forward to it?
Very much so. Beautiful place, beautiful people. We look forward for a beautiful concert.
Congratulations on King of Hearts. You must be very, very happy with that album. Your latest collaboration with Andre 3000, not a bad little tune, dedication to my ex.
Yeah, and I'm more excited just about us winning right now. So.
And tell me, is this correct? First guy to sign you was Magic Johnson on his music label. Is that right?
First time I ever even sat courtside was with Magic Johnson at a Lakers game. And man, he's always been a really big mentor of mine.
What's he like?
He's very humble.
Wow.
And large. Huge guy.
Hey, Lloyd, look, thanks for your time. Have a great gig tomorrow night, and good to have you in the country, too.
Thanks, man.
All right, cheers, mate. Thank you.
Yeah, Lloyd, I imagine that you and I reckon we should start a record label.
Me and you, I think we could do that.
Sign Dennis.
I think he's got a little bit of the Greek music in him. A little Zorba the Greek.
Speaking of Magic Johnson, Vlade Divac is in the country at the moment. He visited the Sydney Kings last week. And I understand he's going to spend some time, or has spent some time with the Breakers. It's great to see NBA quality down here as we're underway again. 4:37 in the third quarter to go. Wagstaff misses, Jackson grabs the board.
Well, the Wildcats have really started shooting the perimeter shot. Haven't got a lot of opportunities inside lately.
Speaking of getting inside, as Jackson tried to shoot it over Matty Knight. Robbins to Martin. Is that a foul on CJ Bruton?
I believe it was. A couple guys get tangled up inside the middle of the key.
They call the foul on CJ Bruton.
It is a foul on CJ Bruton. That is personal foul number 4.
He's going to have to be very careful now. Just had Cedric Jackson substituted out. Might have to get right back up and go in the game, make sure he doesn't get his 5th foul.
Bruton stays in the game. Wagstaff. Damian Martin just comes in, knocks it out, but he almost got another board.
Yeah, if he's not the best rebounding guard in the league right now, I don't know who is.
I think Cedric Jackson is, isn't he?
Well, it's not just with numbers, it's the way he's going after every rebound with such tenacity.
Bruton. That's why he's staying in the game with 4 fouls. Strokes the 3.
Well, that's how you get back to the refs. Hit 3 balls. They can't do anything about that, CJ.
11 points for Bruton. Wagstaff travel.
Just a little too quick on that jab step, and right now the Breakers are starting to pull away. Wildcats have to be very careful. They're in that danger zone. It's at 8 points right now. If this starts to get a couple more buckets for the Breakers, it's going to be very difficult for them to come back into the game.
The Breakers have started to close up that rebounding margin as well. 26-18 to the Wildcats at the moment. As Matty Knight collects the ball off Thomas Abercrombie.
Yeah, is it still Christmas? Because Tommy just gave Knight a gift.
Foul is called on Dylan Boucher.
And Dylan Boucher picks up the personal foul. The Breakers open it up a little bit, 57-49. Dylan picks up number 4 himself. So Mika Vakona will come back in. Cedric Jackson will come back in. Boucher and Bruton will take a seat for the Breakers.
CJ Bruton has that 4th foul to worry about, so they want to save him for the next quarter. And Dylan Boucher, 4 fouls as well, picking it up there. Got to save those guys for the 4th quarter. Still a lot of basketball to be played.
Breakers, as you saw, on a 12-0 run. Looking to get another stop here. Will they force another perimeter shot from the Wildcats? Yes, they will. Lish has gone cold. Another board. Another rebound for Mika Vakona.
Talk about all those jumpers. That's the first time Kevin Lish has saw, it seems like the first quarter.
Mikavakona looking for a cutter, goes himself, gives it to Corletto. Can he hit the three? Vakona pulls down the rebound, had it bobbled. Fletcher pokes it, Jackson has it. Fresh 24 with that tip rebound. 14 on the shot clock. 57-49.
Great work by Mikavakona on the offensive glass.
Jackson given the three, takes the three, and hits it.
Well, he is keeping him honest tonight as Perth Wildcats take a timeout because Cedric Jackson, right there with the three-point shot, he's saying, if you're not going to respect me, I'm going to hit this three all night long.
It's a 15-point run in the third quarter. The Breakers are on fire from deep.
There we see it, the rebound battle between these two guys. Look at Vakona, Sean Reddish just going at one another, fighting for the basketball. And then Demi Martin tries to go under the screen, gets caught up in it, leaving him wide open.
Cedric Jackson, that is his second three of the game. Angela Manis will be liking the fact that they've come out and fought in this third quarter.
That guard's coming straight up the middle, so you guys did a good job here. And again, as that guard dropping down, understand if you've got nothing to guard, you start moving up. But if it comes into an on-ball screen, that's a hustle, and you're going to have to drop down and guard the corner. Hey, good job in trans. The next walk-up situation, go as secondary rip for Tommy. All right, secondary rip, they're in the bonus, keep being aggressive. And otherwise, you stay with trans. It's all good shit. There we go. Keep rebounding. 1, 2, 3.
Keep rebounding indeed, and they have done a great job crashing the glass. Closed it up to -6 at the moment, 26-20 to the Perth Wildcats on the rebound count. Cedric Jackson, 2 of 3 on the three-pointers tonight, 8 of 39 in the season, 20.5%. Hasn't been great for Cedric Jackson, but he's been playing to his strengths. And at the moment, the Perth Wildcats will have to reconsider whether or not they'll give him that long jump shot.
Breakers coming back out that matchup zone man amoeba action.
Feels like the Wildcats haven't scored all quarter. They've scored 5, but Williamson takes another deep two. Great pressure defense from the Breakers, getting a hand up and denying the passes. Just a little bit of exuberance there from Mikavakona.
One of his favorite moves, to fake like he's coming back to the middle and then spin around baseline. I think, is that a delay of game call? I'm not sure exactly what happening there. Yeah, delay of game warning on Mikavakona. Kick the ball, move the ball, not kick, but push the ball back, and a bit of disgust at his own play.
Perth Wildcats shooting percentage dipped under 40, 39%. Breakers over 50.
Because the Breakers have just shut down the penetration lanes and really also no more offensive rebounds.
Another jump shot, front rim this time. Wildcats have gone stone cold.
And the Breakers' rebounding has been phenomenal in this third quarter. Just no opportunities for the Wildcats whatsoever.
Pulled down 12 rebounds. The Perth Wildcats have grabbed just 5 in the third. Abercrombie around Neville. Double clutch layup.
And he just took his time when he sized up Luke Neville, knows he couldn't guard him, and took it straight to the cup.
Lish, can he get something going? Martin, 3 ball. Another ball, another missed shot for Perth.
Well, this offensive drought keeps going. The Wildcats are going to need a timeout sooner rather than later because the Breakers are pulling away.
Abercrombie, the roof will be lifted if that went in, and it didn't. Rob Beveridge will be happy. The Breakers have gone a little bit cold as Abercrombie picks up a personal foul, and we have a technical as well.
Wow. All the complaining that's been going on tonight. And Thomas Abercrombie,
the nicest guy on the court.
The straw that broke the camel's back, I think, on that one. They've had enough of it. But I know exactly what Thomas Abercrombie's upset about. If you see the play, Sean Reddish, you see the slap, that's what the technical for, but Sean Reddish really initiated all that contact on the break and then flopped around like a dead fish out of water to sell a foul to the officials, and ends up getting the call and the technical, and really a momentum swing opportunity for the Wildcats. They could not buy a bucket, and now they're going to get 4 free throws and the basketball.
Reddish missed it. There is a couple of NBL, I believe, referees who sit just in front of us. And the Breakers crowd and the coaching bench, it has to be said, have worked out where they're sitting. And it feels like they're looking at us with the angry faces, but it's not us. It's the officials from the league office who sit here most games. And I think there'll be a few comments made, not in the media, of course, but in the direction of the league.
Well, no matter what the calls are on the court, we're never going to be happy with all of them.
Slish makes his free throw there, and the lead is cut to 10.
And a real opportunity for the Wildcats now to cut into the lead even further. But they have to find a way to get through this Breaker defense and stop shooting those perimeter jumpers.
Well, they're 3 of 17 from behind the arc are the Perth Wildcats. Leon Henry, first minutes of the night. Pledger on Neville, big man on big man. Soft touch, Luke Neville breaks the drought for the Perth Wildcats.
There it is, you throw it into the big footer, let him go to work. Tough hook shot over Alex Pledger. And Cedric Jackson sells it back.
Sells it right back to Sean Redditch. Return to sender.
That's the kind of nitty-gritty this game is going with right now. Cedric Jackson going to get to the free throw line now. Both teams in the bonus for the rest of the quarter.
So that little mini run of Perth's with 3 foul shots and Luke Neville's 2 points. 5-0 runners. Perhaps stopped by the Cedric Jackson foul shot opportunity, who hasn't been shooting it from the foul line tonight. 3 of 8 for 38%.
And the Breakers 6 of 14 as a team for 43. Well, the Wildcats shooting an excellent 82 for 9 for 11.
Oh my goodness, Cedric missed it again.
And they get another offensive rebound at the free throw. Those are just terrible mistakes for the Wildcats to make, giving up 2 consecutive offensive rebounds on missed free throws.
So good at boxing out and cleaning it up are the Perth Wildcats. I think that's about the 3rd or 4th time the Breakers have been able to do that on missed free throws. And that's what's given them partly this lead. One of the reasons is Jackson has it. Corletto to Pledger. The cone is trying to seal off Redditch. He's in the key. Steps out. Corletto, ball on the floor, bobbled it. Pledger's there. Goes up strong. Is that on Damian Martin? It is on Damian Martin. That's another foul on him. I believe that is foul number 4.
Wow, I can't believe that he's staying in the game now. Yes, as we see Brad Robbins running in as Alex Pledger with the stick-to-itiveness, staying with the play. Refused to give up. Gets a couple of rebounds. That brings the offensive rebound total to 7 for the Breakers tonight, as he has a chance to build this lead to 10 points once again.
Pledger makes the first 55% on the season. Is Pledger from the line?
It really has a much softer touch than that, especially for a 7-footer.
Makes the second. Breakers lead is back to double digits. 10 points, 10 seconds to go. Redditch, bobbled by Henry. Gives it up to Jackson. Great pass. Left hand, that's good. What a way to end that 3rd quarter as Jackson and Pledger celebrated midcourt, and the Breakers fans are on their feet. They lead by 12.
How about Leon Henry coming in for 10 seconds and being a difference maker? Been on the bench most of this game, but comes in right now, does a great job defensively, gets his hand on the ball, and then finishes the play with the hustle, diving out of bounds, throws it with a great pinpoint pass to Cedric Jackson, who finishes on the break with no time left on the clock. And that is a momentum destroyer for the Wildcats, who are just climbing back into the game.
Okay, so let's go back. Send screens, cut hard off it. Okay, so with our horns, screen. Okay, so flare screen, set the screen. Come off it, sprint into the screen. And we're going, they're setting the tempo here. We've got to come back and set the tempo for us. Okay? Let's look at running, some horns, off the dribble. Okay, so right now, we've got some squeeze on this. We've got some squeeze. Okay? If they shoot the lane, you slip on ball screen. Okay? Yeah. let's read the on-ball screen. Stay with our game plan here, boys. We're still in it. Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Well, Cedric Jackson finding his teammates. Gary Wilkinson came out with a big third quarter there. 7 points in the quarter to give him 15 for the game. He was doing it from deep. He was doing it on the offensive rebounds and really gave the Breakers that lift early in the third quarter.
It was a great third quarter by the Breakers. 24-10. They won that one.
Just found a way to turn the momentum around. Coming into the halftime, looked like a tired team and just picked those energy levels up. Don't know what was said, what strategy was made out, but really came out and executed fantastically.
Well, at halftime, they only had 10 boards. And in that third quarter, they pulled down 15.
Well, just 2 rebounds separating the two teams now.
The big reason for that was that the Perth Wildcats went stone cold from outside, missing a lot of shots. A lot of deep shots too. The Breakers defense giving it up as Lish continues the cold shooting from outside. The Perth Wildcats 3 of 17 from deep.
Great perimeter defense once again by the Breakers, forcing them difficult shots.
Kevin Lish started the game hot. Now he's gone a little bit cold in the second half.
But he still has 19.
Leon Henry needs to shoot it. And Brad Robbins pulls down that board and boxed out Mikavakona. Wildcats will not go away though as Luke Neville hits the jumper and Alex Pledger chides himself and letting Neville get a good look.
Is that how you hit jump shots? You just eventually just have to give it to the 7-footer and he'll get it done?
Henry rewarded with a little few more minutes in this fourth quarter. Robbins almost had a turnover, 4 to shoot. Vakona couldn't get the friendly roll and Neville pulls down the board.
The Breakers have come out pretty sloppy here to start the fourth as the Wildcats have picked up that defensive intensity.
Redditch couldn't control the pass, a little strong, and Mikavakona stole the ball. Breakers still with a 10-point lead. Henry in the corner. Good hustle by Pledger. Bullet pass, bubbled by Vakona, and in Cedric Jackson, the awareness, 7th assist of the game.
From half court with a laser-like accuracy.
Vakona, 8 points on 4 of 5 shooting. Lish in amongst the big timber. He'll go to the free throw line as Pledger put up the big trunks, the big limbs that leant over the top of Lish.
Yeah, just had those arms at an angle once again. Not a whole lot of contact in it, but when you're the big 7-footer, you have to keep all those body parts away from the guys. And I'm wondering how many minutes Cedric Jackson has played. He has been out on the court a lot today with some of the foul trouble. As Mikavakona able to handle that pass eventually and finish it.
Well, Cedric Jackson has been on the court 29 minutes so far.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, that was at the start of the third quarter. We've been out here for 2 minutes, so it's up to 31. And he's going to have to find a little bit of a rest area here because he's so important to the way the Breakers are playing. But with those foul trouble to CJ Bruton, it's going to be difficult to get him off the court.
68-57. The Breakers exploded in the first quarter, I should say, with 31 as Corletto hits the 3 and he says, finally, a shot has dropped.
That's somebody he's missing a row. He's not even happy when he makes it. He's still mad about the ones he was missing.
Derek Corletto, 1 of 6 this game. He was 1 of 4 against Sydney. Lish turns the corner. Crossover. Blocked by Pledger.
Denied access. Alex Pledger, after the quick crossover by Kevin Lish, just returns that one to sender.
The 2 best shot blockers on the Breakers were all over Kevin Lish and his intentions.
That's almost 14 feet of big white guy trying to block that shot. And successfully in the end.
Two blocks apiece for these teams tonight.
about 13 feet 8 inches of forward and center out there trying to get a hand on the basketball. Tough to squeeze through.
That sounds like a very dark place for Kevin Lish to be in. Neville up high. Wagstaff. He just flips it up and walked as Cedric Jackson tied him up.
Well, he doesn't get credit for the steal there, but he did cause that turnover by getting a hand on the basketball and forcing Jesse Wagstaff off balance.
So far, the Breakers have done a really good job of holding out Perth. And as a consequence, as Corletto, a little strong on that three. As a consequence, Perth haven't been able to get that full court pressure going tonight, and that has been a big key. There's another travel as Luke Neville's tied up. And he can't believe it. He thought he was fouled.
Yeah, it looked like a one step into the move. Couldn't quite see all his feet from here, but see if the replay shows us a little better. Catch the ball there. Looks like a 2 steps to me. That's a pretty tough call. I can see why he's upset with it. But hey, the 7-footer's not supposed to be mobile anyway.
71-57. Breakers with a 14-point lead. Sending a message to Perth. Wilkinson up fake. Goes around Neville. Wild shot. Didn't touch anything except a Perth Wildcat rebound in hand. Toby. Inside to Wagstaff. Double team by Boucher. Wagstaff still has it. He goes sliding to the floor. Perth 22 of 59 for 37%. Jackson gives it up to Abercrombie. Charge on Cedric Jackson.
And Cedric Jackson does not like that call. A lot of charges tonight. Everybody putting their bodies on the line. Be interesting to see if his feet were inside the charge circle there. Not quite sure. Cedric Jackson certainly thinks it wasn't a charge, but you cannot argue with the officials forever. Well, I've tried. That's how I know.
16 to go in the game. Perth held to 57 points so far. It's been a great defensive performance by the Breakers in the second half. Martin wants the screen from Wagstaff. Gets the switch. Gives it to Neville. Wilkinson on him. 2 to shoot. Neville with the ball away.
Boucher.
Was that Dylan?
I think it was Dylan Boucher just reaching in as Andre Lamatis close to a technical.
And that's foul number 5 on Dylan Boucher. He's out of the game.
Yeah, just got his hand caught in the cookie jar that time. Thought he could get away with a swipe on the footer. But unfortunately for him, could not. That's his 5th foul.
Oh, that was sneaky, wasn't it, by Dylan? And he thought he could get away with that one.
Just tried to get his hand in the last second. Really should not have fouled. That's a 7-footer at the 15-foot away from the basket. With no time left on the shot clock, having to put it off. Otherwise, it'll be a turnover. If he could get that one back, I'm sure he would change what he did. But as it is, his night is over.
He was away, block 4.
3 rebounds, 1 block, 1 assist, 0 points for Dylan Boucher tonight. Just another usual stat line.
As always, the stat line does not belie his contribution to the team. Really does a good job defensively, especially, of harassing the offensive.
You sit in the stands at the Breakers, you'll always find maybe one person or 2 people who don't understand quite exactly why Dylan Boucher is out there. But it is the effort, it is the smarts, the basketball IQ. It's like having a coach out on the court, Casey.
Because it certainly is not the athleticism.
71-58. Man, he just fouled out. Give him a break. Tom Abercrombie. Over to Vicona. Going baseline. One-handed pass to Wilkinson. In and out. And Tom Abercrombie over the back foul on that rebound attempt.
How about Mika Vicona's move on the baseline, running the tightrope, and then finding some daylight somehow to find Gary Wilkinson who ended up missing the shot. But, man, just impressive not to turn the ball over there.
Foul number 4 on Thomas Abercrombie. Starting to mount up for the Breakers. 21. Most of them are between Abercrombie, Boucher, and CJ Bruton, who's out there at the moment. Matty Knight Wagstaff on the other side with the board. Tips it in.
And that's how the Wildcats are going to get back into this game. They don't need to rely on the three-pointer just yet. They just need to keep attacking inside, especially with this foul trouble for the Breakers.
Under 5 to go, the Wildcats. Are they down 14? Yes, they are. We're down 14. CJ Bruton with the stroke.
It's a shame he was in foul trouble in the first half because he is feeling it tonight. Every time he's got a look.
He came out during the week and said he's got a point to prove, really, as Martin was out when he tipped that. He had been looking forward to this one since that big round 12 beat down by the Perth Wildcats on the Breakers.
Well, he's a former Perth Wildcat, played there as a young player. His dad played there as well. He grew up had some of his growing up in Perth as well. So he always has something to prove against the old teams. He sees nothing but net from the corner.
14 points on 5 of 6 shooting for CJ Bruton. The wily veteran has 4 rings with 3 teams. And this is our Starship family for this game. It's the Hapuku Tunahu family from Clive and the Hawke's Bay. Madison Cleveland is the brother. Marjorie Katane is the caregiver, and Tanya Meechin. All up to enjoy the time that they can spend away from Starship. They do a wonderful job, and it's great to see them having a good time at the moment.
Well, not everybody wants to be on camera there.
Don't leave your man in the corner for an open three. We'll let him off the hook. Hey, 50 on right here. You're on the ball. Go trap. Hey, yeah. You shoot the lane, all right? The throwback go. 3, 2, 1, right?
Wildcats just trying to strategize their way back into this game. Expect to see a lot of full court pressure. 4.5 left, 14-point lead to try and overtake. It's a tough task, but with the way they play defense for 90 feet, they could possibly do it.
Dropped the shoulder and tried to drive on Lish, who fouled him. Kevin Lish. It's foul. It's just the first of the game. He's done well to stay out of foul trouble as Kevin Lish. And struggled a little bit too, though.
Wildcats have so many strong physical defenders. Oh.
Matty Knight almost had a turnover.
They're taking a charge going the other way.
Bruton missed that 3, but Mikavakona, that should be a rebound. He tipped it out. And there's a wet spot where Matty Knight fell over. It's pretty humid in Auckland at the moment.
Yeah, surprisingly, the court has held up very nicely with today's conditions, especially with as many bodies have been on the floor. Haven't seen too many occasions where we had to stop the game for situations like this. Cowboys always working overtime.
Kevin Lish was 5 of 8 in the first half. He's now 1 of 7 in the second. He has got 20 points. But he has struggled in the second half. The Breakers have done a very good job on him.
Eventually, I think your energy levels are just going to go down. They put so much into that first half. And the Breakers, who weren't playing great, only had that 2-point deficit. Now that they are playing well, they've stretched it to a 14-point lead.
Cedric Jackson, as we have a whistle on the baseline. Cedric Jackson is 1 assist away from a double-double, 15 and 9 assists. And the ironic cheer from the Breakers crowd as Cam Tovey fouls out. Not a good night for Cam Tovey. 0 points, 0 shot attempts. 1 assist, 1 board. And 5 fouls.
The crowd loves it. Letting them know about it.
Lloyd is loving it.
Oh, the offensive foul.
And that is CJ Bruton's fifth.
He is close to getting a technical. Mikavakona holding him back. And CJ Bruton is letting his opinion be known as he walks to the bench for the final time tonight. Mikavakona still fired up. He knows there's a lot of basketball left to be played in these last 4 minutes.
CJ's going to want you guys to play some defense for
The Breakers bench is getting thin. Not a lot of guard cover. And Cedric Jackson has been out there. By the time this game's over, he'll have played about 38 minutes, I think.
74-60, still a double-digit lead, 14 points this time. Williamson hits the jumper.
And finally, a guard hits a perimeter shot. Unfortunate for the Wildcats, not a three. And Nick Vacona just zings that ball straight out of bounds. Saw Thomas Abercrombie out of the corner of his eye. And Andre Lamanis has seen enough. He wants this team to execute right now, not toss the ball away. Gonna call a timeout, get a little bit more structure in.
Well, if there's going to be a Breakers win, and it's looking like it at the moment with a 12-point lead with 3:24 to go in the game, it's a big message to the rest of the league that the Breakers are wanting to go back-to-back. And they handled the Perth Wildcats with great physicality, denying them in the second half. And Andre Lamanis wants them just to be a bit crisper in execution, no doubt.
Be aware of getting double teamed though. Sometimes you've got to be aggressive and just bust through it, okay? Nico, when you get the catch, just relax, all right? Just relax. If you got something good, go. Just be aware of being trapped on the center line. You might need 1 or 2 bounces, and then we can get it back. Hey, you got trans on the fly, otherwise you get some weak and some two shape. Keep throwing the ball inside and going at them.
Well, you see by the stats, great job by both teams on the turnovers. Those are only 11 and 10, respectively. But that third quarter, the 14-point advantage is where it all happened. And Mickey Vacona did a lot of that damage there with rebounds and layups, using his point forward role, bringing the ball everywhere. Even though sometimes it didn't quite go his way, he's always got the effort to get the job done.
Just a bucket and 2 rebounds away from a double-double as Drew Williamson used Jesse Wagstaff to spin himself around. And then he got held. And Mickey Vacona will pick up foul number 3. And Drew Williamson will go to the line.
Wrong place, wrong time there. You're allowed to grab your own player. You can do whatever you want to your own teammates, just not the other guys.
Perth will have to watch their back now. If they do drop this game, Townsville and the Gold Coast Blaze have 2 games in hand over these 2 teams. The Breakers have a big game against the Perth Wildcats coming up next month over in Perth. And that will be a series decider and could quite possibly, if they end up on the same record, be a playoffs decider as well as to who gets home court advantage as we head into April. Just playoff basketball as Gary Wilkinson will go to the line to shoot 2.
And the Breakers know that the shot clock is their friend right now. Doing a good job of running that shot clock all the way down to 3 seconds before Gary Wilkinson got that shot off. And through the looked like almost a triple team as he was about to put off that hook shot. Fortunate to get the foul.
Jesse Wagstaff picked up that personal foul, number 3 on him. Gary Wilkinson going for point number 17. Breakers improving on the free throw percentage, only just though. They're 10 of 19, 53%.
And Gary Wilkinson, such a consistent scorer, just ticks away on that box score.
Lish with a spin move. Martin came up with it. Knight bumps off Wilkinson, who went down and picks up the charge.
Matty Knight got away with a bit of an elbow last time, but didn't get away with it this time. And Gary Wilkinson running down the court, getting everybody excited as we see him. Does a good step through, but then a little aggressive with the shoulder. And Gary Wilkinson does a great job of selling it to the crowd. Well, the refs first and selling the enthusiasm to the crowd afterwards.
Matty Knight had a few words for Gary Wilkinson as he walked back to the bench. Gary Wilkinson gave him a little bit back. These 2 teams love playing each other, don't really like each other.
Pressure. Said, don't you be scared to get a catch though if they're not denying you. Obviously not deep in the corner. And then be aware they come the double quickly. Mickey, you go and you're flying that fourth man's been available, okay? Actually, right now, change, mix. That other guard, all right, go and hold out. As it comes in, go straight back because they're used to us circling right now. So just stay there, all right? So as it goes in, now when your man leaves you, you might be that reverse pass and we go, okay? Otherwise, come and set him that screen and he's going. Offensively, all right, we get it, we're good. Got some shakes, run the clock down. Going inside is still too good as well, 2 shakes. Hey, defensively now, we're going to be in hustle. We've got to sit out and guard leash and still make him a penetrator rather than a three-point shooter now. There we go, 1, 2.
A lot of talk there. Really trying to just counter the defensive full court pressure by the Wildcats. Need to be careful. As long as they don't turn over the ball right now, the Breakers can just run down the shot clock every possession and come away with this win. But they have to take care of that basketball, have to treat it like gold.
Wilkinson bangs into Williamson and picks up the offensive foul. Matty Nottam, Wilkinson. Meet chest to chest. Nice little interplay after the whistle.
Good positional defense there by Drew Williamson. Helping off his man out of the corner. Just got there slightly before Gary Wilkinson to earn that. And there's the first turnover. Breakers need to take care of the basketball. Can't turn it over anymore.
76-64. Perth came back at 11 down in the fourth quarter against Sydney 2 games ago. Blocked by Wilkinson and Matty Knight, and he got him over the top on the head.
Matty Knight staring him down as he walks by. Just nothing to say, but just stares him down. A little chippy, I like it.
A little bit of interplay there by the big men.
Let me see the play. Matty Knight goes up strong and takes an elbow to the head. Of course, he probably couldn't feel it. He's got all that cushiony hair up there. Acts like a helmet, I think.
Makes his first foul shot, Matty Knight. He's been working hard all night. 6 points, 4 rebounds. Makes the second. 7 points now, just 1 of 4 from the floor, though. Cedric Jackson just threw it right to Drew Williamson. Damien Martin got right into his shorts. It looked like it's Williamson. He can't buy a 3. Tripped by Mikavakona as Corletto and Redditch get tied up. Jackson just got mugged through an elbow at Gary Wilkinson. It's all happening at the moment. But we got an offensive foul on the Perth Wildcats. It's getting chippy. We thought it might come earlier in the game. It's coming towards the end. The Breakers are standing their ground.
A big play by Thomas Abercrombie. As we see the play, the spin move by Cedric Jackson. Great D there by the Wildcats to get back, but Thomas Abercrombie, if he does not take this charge, that lead gets cut to 7 because the 3-point shot did go through. Kevin Lish a little out of control on the break. The Breakers having to play defense to the bitter end.
Come off it, have a look at that, and then we're up. But we don't want to let it blow it out with dumb fouls. It's fine. 3-2-1.
Well, it's desperation time for the Wildcats. They have to force turnovers. But they've done an excellent job of that the last couple of possessions. Actually, just about forcing 2 turnovers in that 1 possession off of Cedric Jackson.
It's been a physical, tight fourth quarter. Not a high percentage shot by both teams. 10 points for the Breakers, 12 points for the Perth Wildcats in the fourth. Drew Williamson just picked them clean. gives it up to Lish. Blocked by Abercrombie. Spectacular. Perth still have it. Matty Knight, too strong. It counts. And is that Damien Martin? It is.
Thomas Abercrombie, the Windex man up there on the glass, smacking that first shot. Couldn't get the second one. As Damien Martin is everywhere. As we see, great block by Thomas Abercrombie, getting it at the peak. But Damien Martin, are there two of them out there? Because he really does seem like he's everywhere tonight. Grabs that rebound, puts it back. Chance to cut it to 7.
Damien Martin, this makes it a little bit interesting for the Perth Wildcats. Front rim, who wants it? Jackson has it, holds it up. As Wilkinson and Mikavakota try to make their way back, he just throws it into Tom Abercrombie. And the Perth Wildcats will have the ball. And we've got the Towel boys out on the court to wipe up a wet spot.
That time, Cedric Jackson just outran his teammates, got that loose ball, tried to push it, but nobody else was on the other side of half court with him. Surrounded by Wildcats, he had to try and force a pass off, and gets another turnover. The Breakers, who did such a good job up into the fourth quarter of taking care of the basketball, have 4 turnovers in the last couple of minutes.
76-68, Perth ball, 1:19 to go in the game. They make a 2 or a 3 here. It is all on for young and old. What a finish this has come.
And Lloyd is giving it to Kevin Lish. That's showing the crowd how to really be a fan. Letting them know that they are not fans of his.
Ready for some defense? Come on, Sky City Breakers fans, let's hear it.
Rob Beveridge looking animated on the Perth bench. Takes a seat. What have the Perth Wildcats got up their sleeves?
Well, they are certainly due for a 3-point shot.
Good work by the Towel boys with a slow jog back.
Take your time.
Take your time. It's home court, why not? Just give the Breakers a bit of a breather.
Oh, the ref didn't like it. Says there's not enough Towel boy working out there. He's going to go up there, just showing him up a little bit. Angela Manis just out here relaxing.
A wry smile.
Does he have any other kind?
Martin tonight. Redditch puts it up. It's him. 6-point lead for the Breakers.
Just 2 3-point shots separate these teams now.
Here comes the pressure deep from the Perth Wildcats. Vakona almost lost his footing. Abercrombie bobbles it.
Oh, the quick whistle. The Breakers are the beneficiaries of that one.
Yeah, that's it, the Damien Martin.
I'll tell you what, I don't know how that's a foul. It looked to me like he had 2 hands on the basketball. And the Breakers just seem like they're trying to give the game away right now.
Tom Abercrombie will go to the line to shoot 2. There's no surprise that the Perth Wildcats just won't die trying.
There we see Damien Martin trying to rab for the ball. Kevin Few decides he had a little bit too much arm, so Brad Robbins checks out one feisty point guard, bring in another feisty point guard.
They just manufacture them, it feels like, over in Western Australia. Brad Robbins and Cedric Jackson being attended to by Noose, their trainer, cramming in a banana. Is CJ Bruton feeding Cedric Jackson, taking some water. It has been a big physical game.
I'll tell you what, he's probably cramping up right now. Get that banana in for the potassium.
He has not sat down, has he, this fourth quarter? He's played close to 40 minutes.
Yeah, I think he might get this last minute off. I'm sure they'll check him back in the game. Sending BJ Anthony in to get a couple rebounds.
Tom Abercrombie misses the first. Corletto's the only guard out there for the Breakers. Abercrombie will play the 2 spot, no doubt. Makes the second.
Big free throw there. Just that one free throw stretches this to a 3-possession ball game. Just no longer can get tied up with just 2 threes. They're going to have to get 3 buckets at least to find the lead. So the Breakers with a little bit of daylight. Just under a minute to go.
We're in 2. Okay, now, Bobby, this is you. Okay, Drew, you inbound the ball. Okay, now let's have
Wildcats need a quick shot here. Take a 2 or 3, any way they can get it. But speed is of the essence. They got to get in their offense quickly and efficiently to try and keep their hopes alive.
Will it be Kevin Lish? He's only hit 1 shot in the second half. Could it be Sean Redditch reliving the glory days? Wagstaff into Robbins. Has the bigger beach ante on him. Puts it up. No good. Vacona pulls down his 10th rebound. Strong board work from Mika Vacona tonight.
The rebound warrior. Always on the glass. Always all-out effort. We see the fight for the rebound. Hands all over his arms there. Quick whistle. Right call. Mika Vacona, who has had his adventures at the free throw line tonight. It's probably exactly who the Wildcats would want to foul. Every time Mika Vacona gets the ball right now, I'm sure he will be fouled quickly, as Cedric Jackson still on the sideline trying to stretch out that thigh.
Had a real playoff atmosphere about it tonight. The build-up, the hype surrounding it. Another sellout at the North Shore Event Centre as Vacona goes for a double-double. Front rims it. Wagstaff, excuse me, hassled by Vacona. Redditch pulls up for 3. Corletto fouled by Brad Robbins. And that'll just about do it for the Perth Wildcats. That Redditch miss, that defensive board, and Perth will go home and have a look at that second half and how the Breakers took them out of it. Gave up the long shots and they just didn't fall. It's Daryl Corletto. He has had another quiet night shooting it.
And with that miss from 3, the Perth Wildcats now 3 for 20 from the three-point line. An atrocious 15%. They wouldn't have expected to shoot like that on their worst day.
The Breakers, one of the best perimeter defensive units around in this league. Redditch picks up the personal foul. Sean Redditch did.
The Wildcats refuse to quit. Gonna keep sending the Breakers to the line. Even at the very depths of the game, the chippiness does not finish.
A 9-man effort from that man on screen. Cedric Jackson took a knee to the thigh by Damian Martin, and that has probably started to cramp up. He has played some serious minutes as Wilkinson misses his first free throw. Yeah, 10 of 23, excuse me, 14 of 26 from the line. 10 of 23 from three-point land.
Yeah, they're way better off shooting the threes.
Wilkinson, though, is a stellar 5 of 6. They're on their feet at the NSEC. Wagstaff, wild shot, no good. Redditch banks it off the glass. Long lead pass. Wilkinson up to Vacona. He gets his double-double.
Gary Wilkinson, unselfish to the end. And now it's celebration time here in the North Shore Event Center.
Almost. Sean Redditch's foul taking the shot. He'll shoot 2.
Well, they turn the music on anyway.
And let's be honest, Casey, we've called all the games here at the North Shore Event Centre for a couple of seasons, and they only really pull this song out when it means something. It may only be a regular season game. It had playoff implications in the long run, and in the short term, it's a statement game for the home court. They want to protect it. They want it in the playoffs. If they do meet the Perth Wildcats, they still have to win one in Perth. But it is a big statement that their performance in Perth on December 23rd was somewhat of an aberration. They're going to be tough to beat at home and tough to take that title off them.
Well, it is all about home court. The Breakers lost by 20 when they went to Perth. But here they're about to win by about 15, depending on how these free throws go. No, we have a turnover. 5-second call. Darryl Corletto gives it back to the Wildcats, so they get another opportunity with 5 seconds left. But you can see watching this game that home court is of the utmost advantage to both these teams. And the Wildcats will not give up hope yet on having that home court for the finals.
Williamson, pump fake. Finally, the Perth Wildcats hit a three. 0.6 to go, 77-83. And that'll do it. Hard-fought, physical game of basketball. It was exactly how it was advertised.